start with a play so perfect, so impossible, so jaw-dropping, that even the guy who made it didn't fully understand what he had just done until he walked into the dugout and asked his teammate, "What the hell just happened?" That's baseball, and we're counting down the 20 greatest plays this sport has ever seen. Number 20. Pete Rose breaks the all-time hit record. September 11th, 1985, Cincinnati, Riverfront Stadium. Pete Rose steps to the plate, needing just one hit to break Ty Cobb's record.
Cincinnati and a worldwide television audience watching these moments tonight here at Riverfront Stadium.
A record that had stood for 57 years. He lines a single into left center off Eric Show of the San Diego Padres. The stadium loses its mind. The entire dugout empties.
That's number 4,192.
And Charlie Hustle stands at first base with 4,192 hits, and a place in history nobody's ever touched since. That record still stands today. Nobody's even close. Number 19, Reggie Jackson's 3 home runs, 1977 World Series Game 6, Yankees versus Dodgers. Reggie Jackson steps to the plate 3 times. He swings 3 times, 3 different pitchers.
Well, Bert Hooton threw the wrong ball.
3 consecutive home runs, each one on the very first pitch. Nobody in World Series history had ever done that before. Nobody has done it since. The man didn't even need a second chance. They started calling him Mr. October that same night, and the name has never left. Number 18, Bobby Thompson's shot heard round the world October 3rd, 1951. Giants versus Dodgers. Bottom of the 9th, Giants down by 2. 2 men on, and Bobby Thompson hits a walk-off 3-run homer off Ralph Branca that sends the Giants to the World Series. It was the first nationally televised baseball moment, and the announcers call, is still one of the most replayed audio clips in sports history. One swing, the entire sport changed. Number 17, Carlton Fisk's home run wave, 1975 World Series Game 6, Red Sox versus Reds. Extra innings. Carlton Fisk blasts a ball down the left field line and does something nobody had ever done on national television. He stood there and literally waved it fair with his whole body, jumping, gesturing, willing the ball to stay in bounds. It hit the foul pole. Sox win.
The Red Sox win, and the series is tied 3 games apiece.
That moment changed how sports television worked forever. Before Fisk, cameras followed the ball. After Fisk, they started following the player's face. You can thank this man for every emotional sports moment you've ever seen on TV since. Number 16, Don Larsen's perfect game in the World Series, 1956 Game 5, Yankees versus Dodgers. Don Larsen throws a perfect game. 27 batters, 27 outs, nobody reaches base in the World Series. It has never happened before or since in 140 years of Major League Baseball. Not even close. Every pitcher who has ever lived has tried to do what Larsen did that day.
The first World Series no-hitter, a perfect performance by Don Larsen.
None of them have even come close to pulling it off on baseball's biggest stage. This play didn't just go in the history books, it became the history books. Number 15, Kirk Gibson's pinch hit home run, 1988 World Series Game 1, Dodgers versus Athletics. Kirk Gibson was so injured he could barely walk. His legs were destroyed from an NLCS injury. His manager sent him to the plate as a pinch hitter with 2 outs in the 9th, down by 1. The crowd didn't even believe he was real. And then, off the greatest closer in the game, Gibson hit a walk-off home run.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone!
are limping around the bases, fist pumping, barely able to run. It is one of the most iconic images in sports history. The Dodgers went on to win the World Series. Gibson never played another inning that entire series. Number 14. Bill Mazeroski's walk-off World Series homer. 1960, bottom of the ninth. Game 7, World Series. Pittsburgh Pirates versus the New York Yankees. Score tied. Bill Mazeroski, a guy known for playing second base, not hitting bombs, leads off and crushes a home run over the left field wall to win it all. He is still, to this day, the only player in history to end a Game 7 World Series with a walk-off home run.
The Pittsburgh Pirates are the champions of the world.
160 years of baseball, thousands of World Series games. It has happened exactly once, and it happened to a guy who hit only 11 home runs the entire regular season. Number 13. Babe Ruth's called shot, 1932. World Series nobody will ever fully know if it was real, but that's exactly why it's on this list. Wrigley Field. Cubs fans heckling Ruth all game. Ruth allegedly points to center field, directly at the pitcher, before stepping in, and then he hits a home run to dead center field on the very next pitch. Was it a called shot? Nobody knows for sure.
But after he hit that shot, it was like a machine gun.
The footage is grainy. Ruth himself gave different answers at different times, but the legend grew so large that it doesn't matter anymore. That might be the most famous swing in baseball history, and nobody even agrees on what actually happened. Number 12. Willie Mays' The Catch, 1954 World Series Game 1, Giants vs. Indians. Score tied 2-2 in the 8th. Cleveland's Vic Wertz hits a ball 460 feet to dead center. The kind of ball that doesn't get caught. Willie Mays turned his back to the plate, sprinted full speed toward the warning track, and caught it over his shoulder without even looking.
One of the greatest catches in all series history saved the game for the Giants.
Then, before the runner could tag, he spun and threw it back to the infield in one motion at full speed, facing the wrong direction. Analysts say there has never been a catch in MLB history that compares to this one. It's just called The Catch. No name needed. Number 11. Edgar Martinez's The Double, 1995 ALDS, Seattle Mariners. Down 2-0 to the Yankees in a best-of-5 series. They battle back. Game 5, bottom of the 11th. Ken Griffey Jr. on first. Edgar Martinez at the plate. He rips a double down the left field line. Griffey doesn't stop at third. He is running full speed the whole time. He scores. The Mariners win.
American League Championship! I don't believe it! It just continues!
And the crowd at the Kingdom went so loud the sound system cut out. People still say that single moment saved baseball in Seattle, an entire city's love for the sport, resting on one swing from one guy. He delivered. Number 10. David Freese's walk-off triple and homer, 2011 World Series Game 6. Cardinals versus Rangers. Texas won, strike away from winning it all. Not once, but twice in the 9th inning alone. David Freese came up both times. Both times he delivered. First a triple to tie it, then an extra inning solo home run to win the game. His walk-off blast gave the Cardinals a chance to come back and win Game 7 the next night.
Freese hits it in the air to center. We will see you tomorrow night.
The win probability for Texas at that moment was over 95%. Freese turned it into 0. That's not baseball, that's a movie. Number 9, Jeter dives into the stands. 2004 July 1st, 2004. Yankees versus Red Sox. Extra innings. Trot Nixon pops a ball into foul territory near the stands. Jeter tracks it, runs full speed, and dives headfirst into the crowd to make the catch.
Makes the play and flies into the stands. Oh, what a play by Derek Jeter.
taking the entire railing to the face. He came up with a cut on his chin and the ball in his glove. They had to carry him off the field. The Yankees won the game. Jeter's face looked like he'd been in a fight, and nobody who was watching that game has ever forgotten it. Number 8, David Ortiz's walk-off grand slam, 2004 ALCS Boston Red Sox, down 3-0 against the Yankees. Nobody in baseball history had ever come back from 3-0. Nobody. Game 4 goes to extra innings. Sox manager brings in Dave Roberts, a guy they literally just traded for, to pinch run. He steals second on the most famous stolen base in Red Sox history. And then Bill Miller singles him home to tie it. And in the 12th inning, Big Papi hits a walk-off grand slam. That single at-bat started the greatest comeback in baseball history. The Sox won the next 3 games and became champions for the first time in 86 years. Number 7, Dave Roberts' stolen base, 2004 ALCS Wade. We gotta give Dave Roberts his own entry, because without this one play, everything that happened after never happens. Red Sox down 3-0 in the series. Down 4-3 in the 9th inning. Mariano Rivera, the greatest closer of all time, on the mound. Kevin Miller draws a leadoff walk. Roberts comes in to pinch run for him. 0 outs, nobody out. The whole inning's still ahead, and he steals second on the very first pitch. Rivera checks him 3 times at first. Everybody in the stadium knows he's going, and he goes anyway. Oh, he barely beats the throw. 0 outs, runner on second, and the Sox tie it on a Bill Mueller single up the middle. Sox win it in extras. Sox become champions. It's the most important stolen base in 100 years of baseball. Number 6, Derek Jeter's flip play, 2001 ALDS Oakland A's up 2-0 in the series.
Down the line, fielded with his bare hand, a shovel.
Game 3, Yankees winning 1-0 in the 7th. Yankees right fielder Shane Spencer overthrows not one, but both cutoff men. The ball is heading to the corner with Jeremy Giambi charging home to tie it. And then Jeter appears, out of nowhere, in foul territory between first and home plate. He fields the ball, delivers a backhanded shovel flip to catcher Jorge Posada, and Giambi is tagged out. Yankees win 1-0. Go on to win the next 2 games and advance. Joe Torre still says they practice that play every single spring training. On Jeter made it once. That was enough. Number 5, Sandy Koufax's perfect game, September 9th, 1965. Los Angeles Dodgers versus Chicago Cubs. Sandy Koufax was already the most dominant pitcher on earth, and on this night he was untouchable. 27 batters, 27 outs, 14 strikeouts, 0 base runners. Perfect! What makes it even crazier? His catcher Bob Hendley also threw a no-hitter that same game. Koufax won 1-0. It remains one of the greatest pitching duels in baseball history. 2 no-hitters in the same game. Koufax still won. Number 4, Madison Bumgarner, 2014 World Series Game 7 of the World Series. Kansas City Royals versus San Francisco Giants. Bumgarner had already pitched 16 innings in this series on 2 days rest, and his manager brought him out again in the 9th to protect a 1-run lead. He threw 5 shutout innings to close the game. Every Royals fan in the stadium was holding their breath. Alex Gordon ripped a ball to deep center that should have scored, and Bumgarner didn't flinch. He got the final out, and the Giants became champions. One pitcher on fumes deciding an entire World Series by sheer will. Unbelievable. Number 3, Joe Carter's walk-off World Series homer, 1993. Only the second time in history a World Series ended with a walk-off home run. Game 6, Toronto Blue Jays versus Philadelphia Phillies. Jays down by 1 in the 9th. 2 men on. Carter digs in against Mitch Williams and hits a 3-run homer over the left field wall. The Jays win. The series is over. Carter is jumping around the bases, pointing to the sky in one of the most electric moments the sport has ever produced. The game didn't go to Game 7. 1. It didn't need to. One swing and it was done. Number 2. The 2016 Cubs World Series, Game 7 extra innings, 108 years. That's how long Cubs fans waited. And in Game 7 of the 2016 World Series, down in extra innings, Ben Zobrist hit a go-ahead double. The Cubs held on. They won. Grown men in the stands were crying. Old people who had never seen a Cubs championship in their lifetime were weeping. Players on the field were weeping. Cameras caught it all. The Cubs won 8-7 in 10 innings to end the longest championship drought in North American sports history. There has never been a championship moment with more emotional weight behind it. 108 years of pain ended in one swing. Number 1. Willie Mays, the catch, gets the spot it deserves. Actually, no. Number 1 belongs to a moment that wasn't a home run, wasn't a walk-off. She wasn't a championship. Number 1 is a play so fundamentally perfect that baseball analysts, Hall of Famers, and historians have spent 70 years debating whether it can ever be matched. 1954 World Series, Willie Mays. A ball hit 460 feet. A full-speed dead sprint with his back to the field. A catch over the shoulder at the warning track. A spin. A throw. All in one motion, without looking, under World Series pressure. The man who threw the ball, Vic Wertz, said afterward he thought it was gone. He wasn't the only one, except Willie Mays, because Willie Mays always knew exactly what he was doing. That's why it's number 1. That's why it always will be.